The Detroit Lions win 5 of their last 6 games. Everyone is taking notice of the Detroit Lions. And yes, I did cut my mustache off. Hello, everyone. My name is Derek, and welcome to Detroit Lions Syndicate. If you are new to the channel, we talk all things about the Detroit Lions, and even when they were 1-6, we were still talking playoffs. I was also talking about potentially firing both Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes next year, but what are you talking about? Though that was so long ago. So consider subscribing to the YouTube channel because we are just 7 away from 7K. That was my in-season goal, but now I might have to up that because we're almost there. So subscribe to the channel. I would appreciate it. The Detroit Lions are one of the hottest teams in the National Football League, having the #1 red zone offense, and the defense has stepped up tremendously since the trade deadline. Seems like so long ago, this team was 1-6, talking about the first pick in the NFL draft and potentially firing Coach Dan Campbell and GM Brad Holmes. I was saying that for next year if he did not learn from his mistakes, but what a turnaround it has been, firing Aubrey Pleasant, trading away TJ Hawkinson, and a defensive player-only meeting really turned this team around. And the Detroit Lions have allowed, I want to say, the 4th fewest points going into Sunday's game against the Minnesota Vikings since their turnaround has begun. Dan Campbell was on the Pat McAfee show today, and he joked about the play to Penei Sewell and how he didn't even know it was happening. A lot of you fans are running with that. Y'all need to calm down. He said it was only a joke. And it's weird because now we are getting all this attention from people popping out of nowhere making videos about the Detroit Lions to the love that we're getting in the national media from ESPN, NFL Network. People were picking the Lions to beat the Minnesota Vikings. And we started off as underdogs against the Jets, and now we are favored to win that game. And the Detroit Lions have a chance to move to 7-7 and end the season with essentially a 3-game season. And if the Detroit Lions do somehow do that and sneak into the playoffs, they will be the first team since 1970 to start 1-6 and make the playoffs. I want to say the last team that did it was the 1970 Cincinnati Bengals. Shout out to Patty Grimes for that piece of information. Everyone is taking notice, even Dan Hazes, the guy who does the NFL power rankings every week, which are the only ones I really look at. He's even had some nice things to say about the Detroit Lions and their power rankings and how they've risen. I know you guys mostly know this, but some of you will hear this for the first time. Here is where the Detroit Lions rank entering Week 15 in the National Football League power rankings. Detroit Lions 6-7, ranked number 10, previous rank 17. These Lions are for real. Dan Campbell's team continued to roll the opposition on Sunday, this time piling up 461 yards on the NFC North leading Vikings in a 34-23 win at a raucous Ford Field. The offense is led by Jared Goff, who is playing quarterback at a very high level right now. The veteran threw for 330 yards and 3 touchdowns, and he has not tossed an interception in 5 weeks. Goff and company will face a stiff test with a Week 15 trip to the Meadowlands to face the Jets. If this offense proves it can travel against a tough defense in the elements, we'll be talking about a playoff team in Detroit come January. Dan Hazes, who has been taking shots at us, albeit small, all year, says if we can go into the Meadowlands and beat the New York Jets, who are not currently a playoff team, then we'll be playing playoff football. So does that mean that we run the table and we get in at 10-7? Does that mean that we're playing good enough to get in at 9-8? What are you trying to say? Because I read if we beat the Jets, we're in the playoffs. That's what I get from that article there. So let me know. The Lions move up from 17 to number 10 and sit in the top 10 in the NFL power rankings. Not too long ago, they were all the way down, sitting at 26 after that 1-6 start. So the Lions, 4 games left. Stiff opponents. This is the National Football League. Got to go to the Meadowlands, and it would be great to see them do what they did to the Giants, who are a big fraud. But if we can do that to the Jets, who are not that much better right now, their defense is fantastic. But who will be at quarterback? Will it be Mike White, Joe Flacco? Will we see Zach Wilson under center come this Sunday? So let me know what you think. Do you like the NFL power rankings putting us in the top 10? Does that scare you? Do you want us to kind of be under the radar like we have been all season? In the offseason, we talked about a lot of things, and one of the things was Peter King's article about comparing the 2022 Detroit Lions to the Kentucky Derby winner, Rich Strike. If you don't know, Rich Strike had the longest odds of like all time to win the Kentucky Derby, and he was able to come back during the home stretch and take the lead and win the Kentucky Derby. And right now, that's exactly how the Detroit Lions are. They are the Rich Strike of the NFL right now, and if we can make the playoffs, then we will complete that comeback and do something no team has done in the last 52 years. What a way that would be to wind down the NFL season. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. My name is Derek. This is Detroit Lions Syndicate, again, right at the cusp of 7,000 subscribers. So if you're just kind of lollygagging, coming back every other day, give me a sub. I would appreciate that. 7K with dreams and aspirations to really make a name for not only myself and my team in this space, but to give y'all the content that you deserve from a homegrown dude who is not trying to be corporate or snuggle up to any former player. You guys are awesome. Take care of yourself. And as always, go Lions.